This is an, if I may say so, big day for Credit Suisse and for all of us, because we are announcing what we call a new Credit Suisse, transformation into a new Credit Suisse. What is that at the end of the day? That is a bank which is much more stable, which will be sustainably profitable, much simpler in how it is set up. And for us, one of the most important things was, how did we come to that solution? And we started actually with, the client needs. And we designed everything around the client needs and ended up with what we are proposing today. So that's a very decisive action program, if you want. Number one, a radical restructuring of the investment bank. Number two, a significant reduction of costs. And number three, and further strengthening of our capital base. And I think with that, we have all the necessary ingredients, so to say, together to go where we want to go.
Let me ask you about the size of this, because you're raising $4 billion. The market had speculated at somewhere between $5 and $9 billion as required. This number looks lower. Why is it enough?
I mean, we did very careful calculations on that one. And, the capital raise is the one thing. The other thing is we are doing divestments by our own. The other thing is, as you have seen, that we are partnering up in the securitized product business with very strong partners going forward. All of that leads into, capital generation, additional capital generation, and that brings us very comfortably to the transformation of the next 3 years. And that is something which was very important for us to make sure we start with a strong capital base, but to make sure that we can go through that transformation with a very strong capital base and leave the transformation even stronger. So I think that was very important for us.
Let me ask you about the breaking up of the investment bank. Why is it right now to break this business into separate divisions? And let me also ask you about the loss of the securitized business unit. That's quite a significant blow, isn't it, for the bank going forward?
So a couple of points here. The first one is the investment bank has not, from the shareholder perspective, created value for quite a long time. So that is not something which we could have let go going forward. So we are doing a couple of things, as you say. On the one hand, in the markets area, this is the very much connected area to all our other very strong leading businesses, like wealth management, like the Swiss business, like asset management. We are resizing that somewhat and put it very closely together. And that is what we, at the end of the day, call then new Credit Suisse. Secondly, Credit Suisse First Boston, as we will put it to the market, i.e. the capital market and advisory business, is in itself a very attractive, relatively capital-light business. I think, by putting that together in a separate entity, opening that up, for third-party capital as well, positioning it with these very strong brand and titles of Credit Suisse First Boston is a very, very attractive thing, not only for our clients, but also, in particular, for our people and talent going forward. And then last but not least, what does not fit into these parameters, we drive down and exit through a non-core unit. To your question with respect to the securitized product business, is a very, as you say, profitable business, leading business in the world in its field, no question. On the other hand, a business which needs a lot of capital to grow it further and has relatively little connectivity to our other businesses and to new Credit Suisse. And that's why we thought, partnering up and therefore, freeing up capital is the right thing to do for us.
In terms of the investment bank, I mean, the market has anticipated a significant withdrawal from Wall Street, effectively, for the organisation. From the sounds of it, the way that you're ring-fencing this new First Boston business, it sounds like you are pulling away from US operations and ultimately you see this bank being spun off. Is that a fair assessment?
We are not pulling at all away from US operations because the strongest part within, the capital market and advisory part of the bank is the US. As we all know, it's the largest market, largest fee pool, for us, the strongest part of the equation. So we stay very much committed, obviously, to the US. But as I said, we put it in a separate parameter. We open it up for third-party capital. This gives us opportunity, like, introducing partnership like management model staying and so on. And I think that is very, very attractive.
What is the ultimate destination, though, of that business? Because it does feel that it's less relevant now to the new Credit Suisse going forward.
It's not less relevant, not at all. What we need to do now is obviously to put it on its own feet. Then we open it up, as I said, for third-party capital and all the other things. But, the way we work together between New Credit Suisse and Credit Suisse First Boston, that will, unchanged be of very significant importance going forward. However, if we own it like 100% at the beginning, or if open it up further and go into majority, or finally into an IPO. But I think the way we work together and the way we bring that together and serve our clients, this will not have a big change there.
Obviously, a big part of this strategy involves bringing the Saudis in with $1.5 billion. How long did the board debate whether that was an idea that you were comfortable with, given that they'll own a sizable stake of the business going forward, and there are reputational issues around taking Saudi Arabian money?
Look, we have, as you know, we have a very diverse shareholder base across the world. The Middle East is arguably, I would think, at least one of the strongest growth regions over the next 10 years. We are in the region with our businesses like more than 60 years. And, we felt very much supported by, this new shareholder coming in and, believing and supporting our transformation going forward.
That was never a topic of conversation. You felt perfectly comfortable having that money on board?
No, but obviously you have conversations of all these kind of things, and the board does that in the most professional, robust way. But as I said, we felt that is the right thing to do going forward for the